There we go. All right, so I can share it as well with all of the people who weren't able to join us tonight. And we really appreciate Joyce and Judy helping us put this nice program together. I want to say thanks to Judy Sadaka, who is the Physicians Outreach and Community Relations Manager, who has joined us to help coordinate this whole program of events. It's great to bring experts to the community to learn about important topics. And I'd like to introduce you to our physical therapist who's here. Joyce Lockert is a physical therapist and athletic trainer. She is a board certified specialist in orthopedic and sports physical therapy. Joyce has been providing physical therapy services to the local community for the past 30 years and has been with MelroseWakefield Healthcare since 2017. So Joyce has two things to show us today. The first is around a 10 or 11 minute routine, which she's going to go through with a little bit of music, and then we'll pause. If anyone has questions, either as she's going through it or anything you'd like her to address, you can put it in the chat. So after the first routine, we'll do a quick check-in for questions, and then we'll do the second routine, which is flexible and is something you can do like 2 minutes here or there throughout your day. So I know I'm very excited to learn what Joyce has to share with us, and appreciate everyone coming tonight. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Judy, and welcome everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. The first routine that I'm going to do focuses more on restoring our flexibility and our basic body movements, those that we lose either by sitting behind the desk for too long during the day, or when we lose when we stiffen up overnight. I'm also including a little bit of core strengthening, and we're trying to package this all in a nice little 10-minute package. So first, if you get up in the morning, you start from standing. Anywhere you have a wall or something to hang on to, it's always nice to just give a gentle stretch to the calf muscle, the lower leg. Get one leg going behind you and then the other. It's not a long stretch. It's not a long hold. We want to get things warm and moving. And this is more along the lines of dynamic warm-up or dynamic stretch. And if you can get through at least 10 of these on either side. From here, we start to drop toward the ground, and I'm going to go down to a one knee single kneeling. I want to stretch out the front of my thigh. So I'm going to tighten the abdominals, stay up nice and tall, slowly shift forward just until you feel a gentle stretch down the front of the thigh. Again, remembering to stay up nice and tall. And then I'll go and switch to my other side. Tighten the abdominals, remember staying up nice and tall. And then it's just a slow shift forward till you feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the thigh. These I like to do hold the count for a nice slow 10 seconds. From here, it's warm up the low back. So I'll get down onto my hands and knees, and gentle arch up and a sag down. I instruct my patients, think of it like pedaling the bike to loosen up your knee. You just want to move about 1 inch up and 1 inch down. As you go through about 10 repetitions, you can go a little further up and a little further down. To negate the effects of sitting at the desk all day, as you arch up, you want to think of arching more the lower back. And as you sag down, you want to sag more the upper or from the chest in. So one more time, up with the lower spine and down with the upper spine. From here, I'll start doing a gentle rock backward. As I do that gentle rock backward, I'll feel a little more stretch on the lower spine and on the hips. After 5 or so of these, you can slowly drop down into your child pose. Opposite of the child pose, we want to tighten the abdominals and now make ourselves long. I'm going to move this way a bit so I can get long by reaching out one arm and one leg. They call this bird dog in most yoga classes. If you haven't done this before, a nice way to start is just by lifting one arm at a time, lift the other arm at a time, lengthen one leg, and then lengthen the other leg. And once you feel your balance is steady, then you can lift opposite arm and leg. To improve your balance, remember to keep the abdominals engaged. You're just pulling that belly each time before you lift. And from here, I'll sink down to the floor, propping my upper body up with my arms. This is a wonderful stretch to do after you've been sitting all day, bent forward over the computer. This one, I will just relax here for a full 15, 20 seconds, letting my upper back stretch. From here, we go to our side. Tighten the abdominals, and now we're working on hip. Simple 10 lifts of the top leg. And then 10 lifts of the bottom leg. From here, roll to your back. Starting to wake up the abdominals. I want to draw that belly in and then take a nice deep breath and blow the air out. Do give yourself the time to do at least 5 nice deep cleansing breaths. Breathe the air in. And as you blow out, feel the abdominals tighten. And from here, we do a very slow march with the legs. The idea of keeping the abdominals engaged so that you should see the pelvis staying very level and not rocking. If you have trouble keeping the pelvis level, pick up your head a bit. That forces your abdominals to engage and stabilize the lower spine. Once that gets easy, then we add our arms and we match hand to opposite knee right in the center. From here, I'm going to work on my other hip. So I'm rolling to the side, tightening the abdominals, 10 lifts with the top leg. And 10 with the bottom. Rolling again to a front plank. I'm going to do my front plank from my knees. If you haven't done planks before, it's easier to cheat just a little bit with your hips up in the air. What we don't want is for you to sag down too low. And from the plank, now I'm going to come to standing. To get to standing, I get my feet underneath me and see how slow you can rise. And this gives a nice stretch to the hamstrings. This one is called a sumo stretch. And then when I feel ready, tighten the abdominals, bring your hips underneath, come to standing. Once you are in full standing, we're going to finish by getting straightened up. So first, I'm just going to bring my arms overhead, not as high as I can possibly reach, but just a bit. Now I'm going to add my next piece. Arms overhead, arching the upper back. And then on the third one, arms overhead and fully extend. And And now you're up and loosened up and ready to begin your day in 10 minutes. So at this point, any questions?
Let's see. No questions yet. I thought that was great. And would you say that this is something that people should try to do, you know, twice a week, every day? What are your
I designed this
recommendations?
routine as an everyday first thing in the morning. It gets each body part moving, a little bit loosened up. It's not too much of any one thing. You shouldn't leave this you should leave this feeling looser, more flexible, not feeling exhausted, tired.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we have a couple people saying that they tried it and it felt great. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And we're gonna send these out.
Yeah, and we will send these out. We'll send out the routine via email within the next few days, and we'll also share the video on YouTube so you can practice. And I know I'm not doing the video now because I am not in the proper setup because my dog won't stop barking. Someone is giving me joking on my cell phone. So, but I will be doing it later and I look forward to it. So I don't see any other questions. So do you want to do the second part, which is
questions? Let's go on to, so the second routine that I've designed, I'm calling this a more of a moderate strength toning workout. And with this routine, I've included some strength and balance challenges for the whole body. Depending, I put together one full circuit. Depending on your time, you can do the one circuit in 10 minutes or less. If you have more time, you can repeat that circuit another 1 or 2 times to make the time longer. So with our strength circuit, I always begin and end with our core. So for our core strength, I chose for our abdominals the exercise we did before, which was the dead bugs. So this was the draw in the abdominals, marching of the legs. If you haven't done this before, you keep one foot planted, and that's a little less challenge on your spine, or if you're having any back issues at the time, keep that one foot planted. Only once you feel strong and solid, then you can get both feet up in the air to do that same march. Once that's easy, you add the arms. Once that's easy, you just add a little length by trying to extend the body a little further. For back of the hip, I chose bridge. To do a proper bridge, you want to, again, engage the abdominals, tighten here, squeeze the glute, and slowly lift up. Tighten the abdominals, squeeze the glute, and lift. For less challenge, keep your hands on the ground. That'll add some stability to the spine. If you want to make it a little more challenging, go to your elbows. And then if you want more of a challenge, put the arms across the chest. Going back to round out the core, we're going to planks. I'm going to show you planks from the knees. So in a proper plank on the side, my body should be in a straight line. And these I'll hold for 10 counts. Side plank, and now I'm going to roll to my front plank. And again, this is going to be a 10 count hold. And then roll to the other side. From here, I'm going to move to lower body. 2 exercises, you can choose one or the other or both. To strengthen lower body, squats. To perform a proper squat, you want to stand with feet hip width. Find your balance point out in front. As you drop down, the hips should be moving slightly backward so that you feel more weight on your heels than on your toes. But it is all about balance. The idea is not to go down as low as you possibly can, but only as low as you can keep your balance and not see anything funny happen in the back. Sometimes we see a hitch in the lower spine. So again, it's feet shoulder width and just dropping down as low as you can keep your balance. Slightly more challenging would be a lunge. For lunge, 1 foot in front or just offset of the other. Notice I always start with a smaller stride. As we go into our lunge, we drop straight down and straight up. And then from the front. If you wanted to give yourself more challenge for your balance, I would take those 2 feet and put them a little more in line. And now your body has to maintain stability this way by engaging the core, and you do your drop down and drop up. For more of a challenge, only once you get stronger, then move to a longer stride. With your full stride in your lunge, as you drop to your low point, your front shin and your back thigh should each be vertical. We don't want to see you tipping forward or back. And you should see the upper body go straight down to the ground and straight up in a vertical line. Moving on to side of the hips. A nice way to strengthen the side of the hips is to do side steps. I can do a little lateral walk right across the room and right back. And from a low position, I keep the feet a bit far apart and you walk forward and you walk back. This helps us strengthen side of the hips and back of the hips. A little more advanced for your balance challenge is a golfer's lift or a single leg deadlift. First, you want to make sure that you can balance on 1 foot. Once you feel comfortable balancing on 1 foot, then we tip forward with the upper body while you bring the lower leg up. A nice way to assist with this, if you have a chair nearby, do touch it for balance. So I'm going to balance on my right foot. I let my hands get down to that chair. There's my little bit of a cue for my balance, and I come back up. My back leg and upper body should be in a straight line. And you should notice my low back should be horizontal. One of the faults we commonly see is people will roll out like this. So you want to keep it horizontal. Get from this direction, balance on the 1 foot. Go. Okay. So that gives you a short lower body routine. For your upper body routine, the strength that we often lose, I'm seeing so much of it now with everyone working at home on computers, is our upper back strength. I've been seeing that a lot in the clinic, attempting to treat. So to strengthen the upper back, we do arm raises in 3 different planes. So from a bent over or kneeling position, I'm gonna go this way, I lift my arm along my side, I lift my arm straight out to the side, and then with my thumb up overhead. As I lift along my side, pinch that shoulder blade back. Pinch the shoulder blade back. Pinch the shoulder blade back. And then I'll go around to the other side. Arm along the side. You'll notice from this angle, you should not see my hand go higher than my body. I do recommend getting through at least 10 repetitions of each of those 3. Wonderful for any of us who work at desks in those rounded postures during the day. For the front of the chest push-ups. Push-ups can start just as simple as against the wall. Position yourself and just drop in slightly and back out. The keys for proper push-up is bodies in one line. So once again, the abdominals need to be engaged, and it's not as low as you can go. It's as far as you can go, keeping your body in that good form. Once that gets easy, then just drop the level of the support you're doing your push-up on. You grab the chair nearby at your desk, go into your plank position, and you can do your push-ups from here. If we want to help this stuff, because you know spring and summer is coming and we don't like the flab under the arms, another nice one to add in is use that same chair for your chair push-ups. So I'll use the arms of the chair just to help prop me up and down. I still have weight on the feet as much as I feel comfortable lifting. These would be my chair dips. And obviously to make it a little more challenging, I'll kick my feet out in front of me and do the lift from there. Start and finish with your core. So I am going to get back down and do my second set of my core. So now that I've warmed up, I'm going to go right into my dead bugs. The dead bugs are nice because they engage the upper abdominals, the lower abdominals, and your obliques. It gets everything with just one exercise. And then I'll go into my planks for a 10 count each way. To stand, and that finishes our circuit. So if you have more time, you just go through that whole cycle once again. Sets of these, generally of the dead bug exercise, you can do many more repetitions. Everything else, you know, generally a set of 10 or so works out well. And there you've got a whole body toning routine in as short a package of time as you want or as long a package of time as you want. Any questions on this? I do plan, I have in a Word document, a simple just drop down list of the exercises. And I'm adding just a short description to each one so that you have a little key like, oh yeah, I remember what that is. If anyone wants pictures of them, I can certainly do that as well.
Perfect. That was so interesting. You did a few moves that I'd never seen before. So I loved like the ones with the arms and, you know, the back of the neck and the shoulder. That's huge.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, you're getting a lot of compliments in the chat saying people feel energized. They feel great. I really appreciate your taking the time. One question I had is if you have 10 or 15 minutes and your goal is to tone, but also maybe lose some COVID weight, would you recommend
Go for a walk.
cardio or weight?
Go for a walk.
Walk. Okay.
Yeah. I would recommend cardio. And I generally say walk because again, it's everything. It is whole body.
Mm-hmm.
It is whole body. And now that the weather's nice out, all the more reason. But definitely cardio core is your base. It's always the base of your workout before you get into any squats, lunges, lifting dumbbells. Cardio and core.
Got it. Excellent. People are saying that they love the dead bugs for their back and the core, and also walks are good for mind and the body. Getting some nice feedback in the chat. Let me see if there's any actual questions in here or if we've covered what we have so far. No questions yet. Do you have any other tidbits for those of us who joined today in terms of just do's or don'ts to fit it in more frequently? I imagine like once a week probably isn't quite enough. So
I got myself as I also went through the constantly evolving schedule this summer with an 8-hour day, a 12-hour day, then a 4-hour day, and different times a day, I got myself into, okay, I'm just going to do one circuit in the morning before I hit the shower. And that's actually literally, I got into doing this 10-minute workout. And it was the flexibility routine that I made sure I got something in every day. And even if I was going into the hospital for a 12-hour day, if I got my 10 minutes in, I got in something. And that's what I would advise everyone is, because if I say, I'm going to go to the gym twice a week and you miss a day and oh my gosh, I've lost the whole week. But if you do your 10 minutes a day and you miss a day, it's okay. You're right back the next day. It's not a big chunk, but it's consistency. You're building routine. On a weekend day, your shorter day, yeah, go ahead and do your longer workout then. And that's okay. But remember, getting something done is always better than nothing.
Excellent. And I love the way you gave different opportunities for people to do it more than once and ways to make it a little more challenging if that's what you're looking for, if you're getting more confident with some of the balancing and stuff. And I also appreciate that you didn't have any equipment at all needed. So that makes it really accessible to everyone and doesn't feel like a big deal that you got to gather everything up or go buy equipment. So really appreciate your time.
And I really am, Judy can attest to this. I'm in a fairly small space right now. And I wanted to give the illusion you are trapped in your office, your home office, and you only have 10 minutes before someone finds you and you need to get something done. So in our little, 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot cube, we got in our 10-minute workout.
You did, and you made it look so easy. So I appreciate it. This was wonderful. I'm going to check the chat again. I didn't see anything, but let me just double check. Yeah, everyone was just saying, the planks were hard, but it was good. And they, I know I learned a lot and I look forward to trying it as well.
I definitely would recommend, as I've watched some of these exercise sessions over the summertime, take the time to go back to the recording and do it with the recording again. And you'll pick up, oh, I missed, like she rolled over. And then what did she do? So go do the work with the recording again when you have time, once or twice, and then you'll get the flow of the routine.
Perfect. And you gave a lot of really good cues too, like keep your back flat and see my hand isn't higher. So that's all excellent routines as well.
And again, if anyone has any questions, and that you know where to find us, we're right here in Reading on New Crossing Road at the outpatient physical therapy center.
Awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for sharing your expertise with us after a long day, and I'm sure the hospital is incredibly busy. So I really appreciate it. Oh, one more thing just popped up in the chat. How about something if you have a problem getting up or down? Maybe that means like, I don't know if Angela, you had just posted the question, like off the floor.
Right. This could all be done on your bed versus being on the floor, or like we have treatment tables here on exercise mats. Was there anything you truly need to get to the floor for? No. And even the shoulder work, I went to the chair and I touched the chair. I have some people who don't feel comfortable on a knee kneeling. Your ideal would be to do your arm lifts from a kneeling position. But this works fine too. So certainly don't feel like you have to get down to the ground. Go ahead right to your bed.
Perfect. I never would have thought of that. So that's another great pivot for people who are, just accommodating different issues or
just don't
injury.
Go back to bed.
Yeah.
Pull the covers up so you're on the bed, not in it.
Any thoughts if you have knee pain when kneeling? Any modifications or recommendations there?
Right. So that's why I mentioned, the hand position here. Squats and lunges. People who have knee problems, lunges are not knee friendly. We do mini lunges and little pumps like that to try to lessen it. But I would start with doing a squat or a counter squat where you're actually holding on and I lean back. So here my arms are taking some of the body weight. My legs are taking some of the body weight. A lot of the gyms now, you'll see what are called TRX straps, the long straps coming off the ceiling. And that's the same idea. It lessens the stress on the knees, by allowing the arms to take some of the weight. For those at home, you just go to the kitchen sink and hang on, and that way you can lean back as you go down. And that will significantly lessen knee pain, along with just don't go too deep. That's okay.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, I also love the fact that you reminded us that if we do push-ups, we don't have to go down that far. We just need to try and stay straight. So that made me feel really good.
Good form first.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm very grateful that we were able to host this event with you, and I really appreciate Judy for coordinating the whole program with me, and Joyce, you sharing your expertise with us. I also want to thank Reading Community Television and North Reading Community Television, who both looped in, so we'll be able to share this with a lot more people. And a big special thank you to Melrose Wakefield Healthcare for putting together this program for us, that we can share with our members and, view ourselves to try to run through the routine. So really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you, you as well. Appreciate it.